see you guys in a little bit. It's time for Wine Wednesday. So grab your glass and let's chat. Welcome everybody to Wine Wednesday. This is actually going to be interesting because I had so many technical difficulties last night that I decided to do my interview with Joanne regarding the MACNA chat. And I decided to do it offline and turn it into a video. So I wanted to get the information out there and it just wasn't connecting last night. So again, apologies, and hopefully you will find all of this information very interesting and entertaining. I'm also going to tag Joanne on this video. So if you do have any questions, she still will of course answer them. And well, let's just get right to it. A big, huge thank you and welcome to Joanne from MACNA for coming to Wine Wednesday, excusing those technical difficulties, and sharing all this great information with us. Thank you and welcome. Let's start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with MASNA and or MACNA.
So I got involved with MACNA and MASNA by simply sharing, showing that I had an interest in applying. They put out a public, hey, apply. We're looking for a PR and membership coordinator. Do you have the right skill set? Submit your resume. So I actually went through an entire application process, just like a normal job. Leveraged a lot of my experience in the hobby. I've been a club president for probably 10 years. I've been a hobbyist for, I can't even remember when I started, and that's probably a problem, but probably like 15 years. And have run quite a few local events and have quite a bit of experience in working with hobbyists to help get them involved and out and interacting with organizations and things. I mean, professionally, I am a marketer as well. So it's just, you know, my job, again, just in the hobby instead of doing my day-to-day job for Bob's Burgers and whoever else I may be working for.
I think that is just awesome. I wish I were more involved with my local clubs, and here you are, president of yours. That's just great. And it's very cool to know that you got into working with MASNA and MACNA in a normal fashion. Really cool. So go ahead and tell us what exactly the difference is between MASNA and MACNA.
There are two organizations, two completely separate organizations. MASNA is a nonprofit organization, 501c3, and it's the organization that your clubs can be involved in, and its main mission is to educate and inspire others to assist in just general activities in making our coral reefs and oceans better. So MASNA, through educating hobbyists in the community and making investments in the scientific community, we hope to make the marine world much healthier as we continue to make our impacts as humans, essentially. And then we take that and we're using the marine aquarium hobby as that education tool for everybody in around. So we work with clubs and organizations and help support scientists in their research and do a lot of things in funding their activities to help make the hobby even better, as well as what they may be doing in public aquaria. And then MACNA is the Marine Aquarium Conference of North America. So that is a once-a-year conference that is focused on both like trade show elements that we would normally see at your local Frexpo, as well as education and networking. So MACNA is this once-a-year mecca event that people in the hobby go to, both hobbyists and professionals and scientists, and really anybody that's involved in the marine aquarium trade just trek to, no matter where it is each year, to reconnect, share what they've learned throughout the year, and come up with the next great idea on how we're going to positively impact the hobby.
And if I understood correctly, this will be the first year that MASNA is actually fully in charge of MACNA, right? How is that going to change things?
Yeah, you know, this is the first year that MASNA is kind of leading the way with MACNA. While MASNA has always been involved in the operation of MACNA, it was traditionally run by different club organizations. And, as a club president myself, we would always hear the rumors, say, if you're a club, you're interested in hosting MACNA, it's a really big commitment. You have to get a lot of club members involved and really run the risk as a club, but MASNA will help you out. So we flipped the switch on that. And in order to provide a little more consistency for MACNA year over year, but also just to help take the onus off of the clubs, because it is a lot. It's a huge commitment. You're talking about the largest marine aquarium show in the world, the longest running one with more ticketed days than any of the other conferences. It's a huge undertaking if you're not doing it year over year and learning from your experiences and applying those to the next one. So MASNA and our small board are leading the way with MACNA, but it is still completely run by the volunteers in the local community. So we have while it may seem like a group of 4 or 5 individuals is running MACNA this year, that's not the case. There we have a group of 100 great volunteers from the local area who have stepped up, and they're going to be all over the place on the MACNA conference floor, helping us out and making sure that the show and the conference goes off without a hitch. You're always trying to figure out what the rule's going to be because it could be changing. So this allows us to have quite a bit more consistency with the conference for exhibitors, for attendees. Everybody's going to know what you're going to get year over year because it's organized by the same organization. And really it's about being able to learn from your mistakes from the year prior and apply those in a good way moving forward. And when you're recreating the wheel every year that you're running a conference of this size, because it's in a new place every year, it's a nightmare.
I can't even imagine. So I think you guys do an awesome job, and I think that a lot of people are excited about the fact that MASNA will be handling MACNA now, but it's really cool to know that it's all volunteer run and that people can still contribute in different ways. Really good. And so what sets MACNA apart from all the other conferences? What makes MACNA special and different?
I always want to tell everybody that I meet that it is not your local frag swap and it's not your local trade show. It is an educational opportunity for you and a way for you to expand all the things that you know about the hobby. So you could spend days and days and days reading threads on say Reef to Reef or one of the major forums, or talking to your local fish store, or you can go to MACNA, spend 3 days, make some new friends, go to all the presentations and all the workshops, talk to the exhibitors, and you will have learned 100 times more than you could have just digging through a couple of websites. And and having that opportunity to learn hands-on and ask the questions directly to the individual who knows the answer, you go home with so much more.
Absolutely. That's probably my favorite thing about MACNA, is actually meeting the people that, I learn from the most, and actually having the opportunity to talk to them. And they're such nice people. At least it's been my experience that everyone's very kind and wants to help, someone new to the hobby or someone having trouble. They want to help. So now that you brought it up, let's talk a little bit about the speakers. I know this is the 30th anniversary, and I was so impressed that you got 30 amazing speakers. How'd you do that? And tell me more about the speakers.
Speakers. So with MASNA being heavily involved with organizing MACNA this year, we are able to use all of our MASNA connections to put together the best list of speakers we could. So we went through and curated a group of 30 speakers, including speakers that you would normally see at a lot of conferences, as well as speakers that you've seen at MACNA before, and then also speakers that you haven't seen before that are renowned in fields outside of maybe what we would normally see in the day-to-day in the hobby world. But they are the speakers that our board just really love. They feel like they're doing some great things for the hobby and the community. We'll be seeing quite a few of them are going to be releasing new scientific discoveries and information, presenting their research results. We will certainly be. Dr. Ryan is going to be presenting his findings on how cyanide is affecting the fisheries. We have multiple presentations about how regulations are also going to be affecting our fisheries from our contacts in Fiji as well as our contacts in Hawaii. I know Dr. Margaret Miller from Seahorse is going to be talking about what they're doing with replanting and make strides in the Caribbean to reestablish those reefs. And then we also have the full gamut of your hobby type discussions. Like Mark Levinson will be talking about system design, and I know Mark Callahan will be doing some talk along the lines of quarantine procedures and how he's been implementing that with his client tanks. We also have a couple presenters from the local fish store industry as well, for those people who are from retail side of things that are wanting to look at how they're going to expand their stores and their presence. I know Ben Johnson will be talking quite a bit about what he's been doing with his store in, I want to say it's New York.
Oh, wow. This is going to be even better than I thought. The regulations, especially, are going to be interesting to me. Regulations are extremely important to Seahorse folks. So I'm very excited to hear that we'll be hearing some of the latest developments and what's going on. Can't wait. There are just a ton of new things this year. I remember reading something about Kids Cove. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so one new thing that we're going to have at MACNA, we've got a ton of new things this year. We added a bunch of workshops that will be above and beyond what you would normally see at MACNA. And then the other thing that we're adding is Kids Cove. So, and this is something that we intend to do year over year. We want to make sure that MACNA, it's this great educational experience. We want you to come and be involved all 3 days. And one of the things that makes it hard to do that is leaving the family, right? And we want to inspire the next generation marine hobbyist in order to be an excellent reef keeper, an excellent seahorse keeper, and keep all their babies alive perfectly. So the way we're introducing everybody to it is we've created Kids Cove, which will be publicly available, and it's actually run by one of our MASNA board members, and she's invited some educators from the Orange Coast Community College they actually have a children's education program where they come out and they do scientific experiments and touch tanks and work with children to help inspire them to learn more. So we have a whole gamut of educational activities set aside just for children, as well as games and specific engagement activities with them to help just brighten their day. So we've got something for the kids. And the best part is kids under 17 are free at MACNA. So you don't have to pay for them. You do have to pay for them if they're going to the reception or the banquet, but they can follow you around everywhere for free.
And then, of course, there's the workshops, which I'm particularly interested in, as I'm hosting 2 of them. But tell me a little bit more about that and what the difference is between the workshops and the get-togethers, and how many you've got lined up now. Just give me an idea.
Yeah, so in addition to our regular scheduled programming with our speakers in their formal presentations, most of them are about 45 minutes or so, we opened up a separate room there at the Westgate for organizations to hold their club meetings, different groups like Seahorse Whisperer, to hold little workshop and meetups as well. So these are very informal gatherings. We have a dedicated space where all of these interest groups can hold hey, let's come hang out. So that is what we have going on. So there's some great ones like a Plumbing 101 workshop, a workshop on photography. A couple local clubs are holding their monthly club meetings at MACNA in the workshops. So it's a great chance if you're if you see a club having a meeting and you're like, oh, I could probably join that club. You could just wander in and see what that club's about, see if they're a good fit for you. Because every club does have its own personality. I always tell people that when they're thinking about joining a club. Each one's going to be completely different. So, and it really depends on who's organizing it. Some people will have very, very pre-programmed workshop criteria. They're going to use it as their own opportunity for a meeting. Others are just going to have a hangout session where we're just do a meet and greet and meet your friends, or just everybody be in the same place at the same time. We've got a room to ourselves. They aren't sponsored by any MACNA exhibitor. There isn't any direct sponsorship associated with that. The meetups are simply the grassroots efforts of our community. So,
well, of course, I've got to do a little plugging here. The two get-togethers that I'm hosting, one is the Seahorse and Pipefish get-together, which is going to be really cool. We have some really, really cool items that will be raffled at that event. And then, of course, the Women in Reefing is really a game changer. I have to give credit where credit's due. It was Kevin's idea to do the Women in Reefing get-together, so hats off to Kevin. But it's really, I think, really extremely important that, you know, that women are being recognized. And I really hope that a lot of people come. I've gotten some help in planning it, and it should end up a really very informative and good get together. So everybody make sure to come and register, so I know you're coming. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the MACNA app. I think it's really cool, but I haven't figured out all the features yet. And I remember hearing that it can actually notify you when something that you wanted to attend is about to start. So tell me a little bit more about the MACNA app and how it can help someone, you know, get to their scheduled programs, and how it can help someone who is attending MACNA for their first time. Just kind of stay on track, you know what I mean? Just tell me about the app.
Yeah, so we have a MACNA app, and it is completely cool for both like your Android phones and your iOS phones. And you can, if you don't want to install anything on your phone, all you got to do is go to app.macna.org, and you can see it through any of your web browsers if you want to just check it out on a computer or anything. But this is a place where you just, it's like Facebook, but it's for MACNA only. And we've got a reef activity stream where you put your comments, your photos, all that fun stuff. Within the app, you can check out the schedule. And from there, you can see if there's a speaker that you want to see. You can add a star. You can add it to your schedule for the day within the app, so that way you get reminders from the app when to go to a speaker presentation, when to go to a workshop. And then we will also, with the app, make sure you have your push notifications turned on, because we'll be doing push notifications like when something cool is happening in one of the other speaker rooms, when the raffles are being given away, if we need you for something. One fun thing to do on the schedule part is if you go to filters up in the top corner, you can filter by the types of things you want to go to. So you can just do a filter by interest group meetup, and then it'll just show you the interest groups that are there. And you can go through those, and then the ones that you want to go to, I should probably, oh, yeah. So the one you want to go to, you just click on it, and you could set a reminder alert. So I need to set a reminder for 10 minutes for Women in Reefing, so I don't forget. Yeah, I see an MBI meetup. We also have one I think will be interesting, is this very last one on Sunday. It says train for a career path in aquarium science. So that's an educator in marine biology who wants to meet with young people who are thinking about entering the field and learning more about what you should be going to school for in order to get to the final result, rather than following whatever your career counselor is telling you to do.
So I read that all of the full conference passes are,
Are sold out.
and that of course is awesome for MACNA. But if someone is last minute wanting to go, there are still some options where they can still come, right?
Uh, there are still people selling them on the side, so I would definitely watch. I see people selling them in the app quite often, and in all the forums on Facebook pages, we'll see one pop up here and there. Hey, I can't make the trip. Do you want to buy my full conference pass? That is a way to pick one up. That's also a reason to have the app. So if we have any extra space available at the reception, we will do a push notification through the app to let you know, so that you can come down for the banquet and we can have some extra passes available. It really depends on how many people register on Friday and pick up their full conference passes. If we have some no-shows, then we'll be able to have those available. Yeah, you can still buy weekend passes. The weekend full access pass for $90 gets you access to all the workshops, all the speakers, and the exhibit floor. If you get the floor only pass, then you only have access to the floor. So if you want to go to the workshops and the presentations, you want to make sure you get the full access pass. And yeah, you can get that either at the door or pre-purchase in advance. And the daily full access is $35, and the whole weekend is only $90. So if you're going to go all 3 days, save a few dollars, buy the $90 one. We did reopen the reception passes, so they were closed for a little while once the full conference passes were sold out. And then I had 10 people saying, "Oh my God, we totally missed out on full conference passes. Can I get into the banquet?" And unfortunately, we're at capacity for the banquet, but we still have space available at the Friday night reception. So you can purchase Friday night reception passes a la carte through the website, but I believe that's going to close on Friday because we have to get a head count to the hotel. So if you want to go to the reception, which is just as great as a Saturday night banquet, aside from the fact that Charlie's not going to speak. But we're going to have a great band called Live Rock, which is made up of all your favorite speakers. So they will be playing a wonderful set of your classic rock tunes. And
Wait, what?
yeah,
No, a band of reef geniuses singing. Oh my gosh.
it's Tulio, Bob Fenner. Oh, I forget who else is in the band. I totally posted it on Facebook. Who's all in the band? Yeah, but the band is all names we know. So
And the banquet is where you guys give out like the awards. I remember last year, Aquarist of the Year, and there's just a lot of cool things that you do during the actual banquet, right?
yes, yes. So traditionally, the Saturday night banquet is where we give away all of our annual MASNA awards. So one thing that MACNA is also a big MASNA annual meeting. So there are a couple formal MASNA things that happen at MACNA: an annual MASNA board meeting, annual meeting for club presidents, and then we also give out our annual MASNA awards, as well as the scholarships that we give out to students. We give out 2 scholarships a year for students that are studying marine biology. They're $4,000, and it's for one for an undergraduate and one for a graduate degree student who's doing their work. So those students are going to be there receiving their scholarships. And then also at the banquet, we will be awarding 2 awards. The MASNA Award, which is a kind of a new, well, it's the old award that we've had year over year, and then also an Aquarist of the Year award. So there are 2 awards that are completely nominated by individuals. You can only be nominated to receive that award by a MASNA member, but it's a recognition for your contributions to the hobby. So one is a little more science oriented and another's a little more hobby oriented.
Very, very cool. Okay, so if you had to pick just one thing, what would you say is your favorite part of MACNA?
Me, I just enjoy the social element of MACNA myself. I get easily exhausted by the exhibit floor. Because I never want to buy anything. I'm really stingy, and
I'm right
and
there with you. Me too.
but I also get a little itchy in the speaker. Like I can't sit through 6 hours of speaker presentations either because I feel like I'm going to school. So I kind of sputter them in a little bit. But the networking that you do at MACNA is my favorite part. Seeing people that you only meet online once a year, essentially. I have friends in Florida. I live in Seattle. So I have friends in Florida and North Carolina and Texas that I see once or twice a year at MACNA, and maybe I might bump into them in an airport at some point. But it's like this college reunion of sorts where we all meet up with each other. We start exactly where we left off. We're all best friends, and you can talk about fishy stuff with people until the end of the day, until 3 or 4 in the morning, and nobody is rolling their eyes or walking away from you. So
Great way of putting it. We all, anyone who's been in the hobby for a while knows that feeling when you're wanting to talk, well, for me, seahorse, but anyone else, about breeding or phytoplankton or whatever. And everybody around you is like, enough. So I agree. It's so amazing to be around people and be able to just talk about these things nonstop with other people who actually like it. And it seems like no matter what you go to, whether it be the get-togethers, the speakers, whatever, as you use the MACNA app to plan your stay, it seems like the more things that you attend that you enjoy, you're going to see other people who enjoy the same types of things gravitating towards the same speakers, workshops, etc. So you make these connections with people who really love the same things as you, and it's amazing how those friendships last. So I couldn't agree more, and I'm so excited. Well, thank you again so much, Joanne, for coming on and talking to us about MACNA. And, well, I'll see you in Vegas.
absolutely, I'll see you too. Thanks.